WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
I can't believe I'm putting my voice to this.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Thank you for your irrelevant opinion.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry.
The first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
I'm a broadcast journalist. I have a right to my opinion.
Oh, son of a...
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary.
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 AM WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the Intern.
How you guys doing? This is my first ever pre-recorded episode.
Yes, we are pre-recorded due to pre-scheduling conditions and the fact that things got moved around a little bit here. You might have heard the Toys for Tots remote that had gone on prior to our airing here. Sure, that was certainly a lot of fun, and man, do we have a lot to get into. Yeah. What a difference a week makes, huh, Lucas? Well, first of all, what a difference a few weeks makes, as it's been a few weeks since we've had you here on the program, thanks to Pensbury's playoff run, which unfortunately, yes, came to an end last week.
Sad to see it go, but at the same time, it gives me more focus to go to the gym and also spend more time with friends, such as yourself, and do stuff I love, like Pro Wrestling Weekly every Saturday.
All right, well, we'll take a couple of minutes on it. Obviously, there has a lot that has gone on in your absence. I
haven't even, especially because my hero breaks the internet, and of course, with my luck, they go, screw it, I hate this guy too, and they say, we'll give you 2 playoff games on a Saturday. Good luck with that. So I don't get to talk about it.
Well, you've got a couple of minutes, not getting into what we know now over the course of this past week. What are your impressions of the 2 CM Punk Art of Wrestling podcasts with host Colt Cabana, as well as Vince McMahon's appearance on the Stone Cold podcast?
Well, even though this is pre-recorded, I'll try not to keep use as many expletives as my hero did. To be honest, though, Vince McMahon is a right Richard. That's really what he really is a jerk. The fact that WWE's healthcare. And believe me, if this was a podcast, I'd be cursing out the wazoo. But it's the fact that I want to not upset Fearon because he's gonna have a lot of editing to do if I do curse. So the fact that WWE's healthcare is complete, it just really.
I'll have to bleep that out.
Oh, I thought we'd be able to. Okay, it's complete.
Just keep going with your point.
Okay, WWE's healthcare is complete, and the fact that Punk had to wrestle with a concussion, dry heaving after every single match, and he wrestled with a staph infection, and they thought it was just some fat deposit, and also the little bit of mini hazing where everybody takes a video or a picture, everybody gathers around to watch them cut off a cyst or something like that. It's just a little, it's locker romantics, but the state of your healthcare, mate, I'm just saying.
Well, WWE hasn't exactly responded to any of those allegations from Punk.
Why would they? They don't really necessarily have to.
It wasn't even brought up on Vince McMahon's podcast, for example.
He doesn't exactly have to, though.
No, although, Austin could. Well, Austin did bring up Punk a little bit, and we talked about that last week, and Vince had a few things to say, one of which I'm really going to have to rant about. Yeah, the whole brass ring thing. Punk said it best. We'll probably have to go back and pull up the infamous pipe bomb promo from 3.5 years ago. Ooh. But he talked about the brass ring that Vince McMahon is challenging his superstars to reach out, and we'll go ahead and we'll bring that up right now.
I've grabbed so many of Vincent K. McMahon's imaginary brass rings that it's finally dawned on me that they're just that. They're completely imaginary. The only thing that's real is me.
So what gets me is if Punk knew back in 2011 that these imaginary brass rings were just that, imaginary, as he said, why did he re-sign? I know he said, I wanted to give it the old college try, that nonsense, but we've seen it.
I watched, if I could just, sorry, I do interrupt you, but this time I'm actually going to apologize, something Vince McMahon also has never done. And Oh, you knew that was coming.
I should have. Yep.
It's the fact that I watched this DVD recently. Actually, it was the day before the podcast came out. We had a half day, and I was cleaning my room because we're gonna have
the Punk podcast.
Yeah, before the Punk.
Okay, I didn't know if you meant
out.
Punk or McMahon.
Yeah.
Because you'd said McMahon, and then you said you were watching his podcast. So
yeah, I was
thought
watching
you
Punk's
meant...
DVD, and he was saying the reason I stayed was the fact that my I think it was Lars of Rancid. It's one of his friends. He's in a punk band, and he said, "You said you wanted to change the landscape of WWE. Are you going to be what'll be best for that? Is it better for you to be changing it from your home in Chicago or in the ring?" And that really is what, like, do you want to re-sign? And he said, I do want to stay, but I'm just tired of it. And he brought that point up, and he re-signed because it's not just for him; it's also for the fact that he can give some hope to the younger guys in the locker room. Think about it this way: if Punk hadn't signed, maybe we wouldn't have gotten the Shield. That was one of his.
But we still have no ice cream bars. I'm just saying. You do have a point about the Shield, but what else have we really gotten over the course of the last 3 years? I mean, true, we had Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
And unfortunately, injuries precluded him from being in that main event slot. But otherwise, we've had to take a trip in the Wayback Machine, which is kind of funny because I feel like Peabody, and in a way, you kind of are like Sherman. You look like him a little bit, too.
Yeah, I also look like Steve from American Dad, apparently. That's what everybody says.
Okay, and enough asides and things like that. We've gotten a couple of things, but I mean, how much has CM Punk really changed the landscape of WWE in the last 3 years?
You do make a very valid point, and we could say he's had some great matches, which he has, but at the same time, you look back at it now, it's mostly Vince's creation of those matches, and Punk wasn't happy with the outcome. So the fact that Punk doesn't like that, does that really throw it all away? Even if he didn't change the landscape, to be honest, he did make a point. He has the to say what nobody else has the to say. The fact that he doesn't matter what he'll do, doesn't matter what the authority throws at him. When he talks, he tells the truth. When he talks, people listen, and that is real power. And that is a quote from CM Punk. But the fact that he's went out there and he's told the truth. Look at it this way: if it wasn't Punk cutting those promos, don't you think they would have gotten sacked?
Well, now, are you talking about over the course of the last few years? Or are you talking about the podcast? Are you talking about which instance are you
Both.
referring?
I mean, even when he was cutting promos in the ring, just him on the mic is magical. It really is. And he really, I don't think anybody else, except for maybe Cena, would be able to get away with that.
I guess. Although, and this is kind of more of the point I was making, as far as the podcast, I don't know how much of what Punk said was truth, how much of it was hyperbole. I've said it over the last couple of weeks while you weren't here. There are 3 sides to this story. There's Punk's side, there's WWE's side, and there's the truth, which is somewhere in the middle. And
I mean, true, he could be playing Vince McMahon's own game and trying to stretch the truth a lot.
Stretch the truth and manipulate the public?
Yeah.
This is Punk's version of 93,173?
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't.
I'm glad that you got that because I wasn't sure if you were going to.
Well, yeah, it's the attendance record joke. WWE math. We all know this. It's just the fact I wouldn't want to portray Punk in that certain light. But at the same time, I would also stretch the truth a little bit. I mean, we'd all do that. And I don't want anybody out there to say that you wouldn't. If somebody you feel wronged you wouldn't stretch the truth to sort of get back at them and make people get on your side.
Well, true. It's not like this is a court of law or anything like that where stretching things out. I mean, then in that case you're under oath. That's a whole nother instance.
Yeah. Even in that, they still lie so they cannot go to jail for the most part. At least that's speculation. But the truth is definitely in the middle, but I feel like Punk's story is a lot closer to the truth than I think McMahon's would be.
I guess that definitely makes a lot of sense. Now, of course, this all leads up to the big announcement this past Saturday night: CM Punk signing with UFC.
Oh yeah, I was way in bed at that point. I was very tired from the game, and I woke up Sunday morning to that news. Fearon texted me, "Holy Punk signed with UFC," and I looked at the news story and I said, "Holy back," and it was a very I'm actually very happy for Punk. You know, the fact that he expressed how he does enjoy UFC. He has had some background training with Gracie. He probably didn't even read it, but I even sent a tweet like, I hope you enjoy your new profession. And that was sincere because, if you can't be happy with WWE, at least have him be happy somewhere.
Well, think about it. Do you know how many tweets have probably gone his way
I
over
know.
the course of the last week?
I know. In the fact that he's gotten so many tweets in his lifetime.
Yeah, for those who may have somehow happened to have missed it, yes, it was announced this past Saturday at the UFC 181 event that CM Punk has signed a multi-fight contract with the Ultimate Fighting company, making his debut sometime in 2015. He also recorded a Vine video saying, essentially, see you in the Octagon in 2015.
Wait, does he have a Vine account?
I don't know if he does or not. It could have been somebody that just took the clip from the pay-per-view and just put it up on Vine. That's
True.
certainly possible.
Maybe.
I don't know, but
we're
going to get...
It's still a big thing. I mean, the one thing I've been asking is what's he going to come to the Octagon to? Like, what's his music going to be?
You're worried more about his entrance music. You
honest,
are such a wrestling showman.
Here's the thing. I want it to be Cult of Personality. I still want him to go, it's clobbering time, and have the T-shirts. I don't care. I just want him to do it still. Because he could still do that. It's UFC.
I guess. There's so much to talk about.
He would generate so much money for that company.
And there's a lot to talk about with it, a lot on both sides of the table, really. So we've got the CM Punk to UFC details, reaction. We've got all that coming up on the other side of a timeout. Also, a wrestler from the New Generation era has unfortunately passed away. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. We've got tribute to the troops. We've got the Slammies to talk about still. Today in wrestling history. And a little bit of video game news. Certain action that might get you in trouble. We'll talk about that as well. You're already grinning a little bit, so I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Probably you may have even gotten in trouble for it. Who knows?
No,
We'll find out on the other side. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon Derry.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the Intern, live via satellite.
Yeah, we bring it.
We bring it via satellite. Yeah, thanks to reschedulings and whatnot, we were unable to make this 2 o'clock time, so we recorded it ahead of time as opposed to not giving you a show because TLC's tomorrow. And we've got to give you our...
pull that sort of move on you guys.
Like the interruption that you just pulled on me?
Yeah,
Jerk.
Pretty much. See, you no-sell my jokes because usually they're bad, but when I even have a good one, you still cringe at it.
It's your reputation. So CM Punk, that's what we need to get into. So Punk saying that his pro wrestling days are over. Dun, dun, dun. CM Punk issuing a statement after signing with UFC to ensure that he is done with professional wrestling. He said on UFC.com, and I quote, "My professional wrestling days are over. It's awesome to be here. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time." He also added, "I have a background in Kempo, and I've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a long time. This is my new career 100%. I'm going to go full steam ahead, all systems go after today, and it's going to be fun. I have nothing but respect for everybody here at the UFC, everybody who steps in the octagon to fight. And when it's all said and done, when I'm finished, everybody's going to have to respect me because I have come here to fight. I felt like it was now or never. I have a limited window most fighters don't have. I'm either here to win or get my ass kicked."
True. Very true.
That is a very telling statement, actually, because he at least knows that there's some uncertainty, that he could go in and win based on his experience or based on his inexperience in MMA. He could get destroyed out there.
Well, I feel like he has a better shot at it than Batista does, because we all know Batista didn't do that well. Not knocking Batista, some people aren't meant to do certain things.
Well, plus age is a factor as well.
True.
I mean, you see that both with Batista and potentially with Punk. Punk's 36 years old. I mean, people look back and go, "Oh, look at Brock Lesnar." Brock Lesnar was, 29 when he started in the UFC?
I love the voice, by the way. It's like something you'd hear on Family Guy.
Oh, I don't know. When you're tired, stupid things sometimes come out of your mouth. And that explains why I'm tired every Saturday, usually from noon to 1.
Yeah, that explains a lot, actually.
So what's your excuse?
Internet.
Safe answer. Now, Dana White, he commented on the Punk signing as well. UFC president Dana White telling ESPN that he is going to start Punk off relatively easy in his UFC debut. Is UFC a work also? No, I'm going to have all my MMA guys going, oh, don't you rip on MMA. That stuff's real. What do you mean it's a work? I don't know. Okay. Now I'm just making fun of, one individual whose name I'm not going to mention. White said he wanted to fight here, he wanted to give it a shot, so we gave him an opportunity. It's not like Brock Lesnar. We're not going to throw the kitchen sink at him. Lesnar had a wrestling background. Punk's going to fight a guy who's 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, something like that.
I mean, at the same time, Lesnar did beat Randy Couture. They threw the kitchen sink at him, and...
Well, this was a Randy Couture who was past his prime.
So? Still Randy Couture.
I mean, that'd be like, putting a boxer up against Muhammad Ali in '86. I mean, by that point, the pugilist Parkinson's had kicked in, and at that point, it's easy to beat by comparison, 40-something-year-old Muhammad Ali versus in his prime in 73, 74.
Couture doesn't have Parkinson's, though. I mean, to be honest, would you want to go up against Randy Couture now?
Well, no, because he kicked the living crap out of me.
Exactly.
But I'm also not a trained MMA fighter.
True. I mean, Lesnar didn't have as much experience as Couture did because Couture had been an MMA fighter for a while. I feel like experience can still beat age in certain things. If your body can still work healthy and you have that knowledge and experience, then I feel like you're a lot more dangerous. You can fight conservative and still win.
Dare I say you can be savvy?
Yes, you can, because it ties in. We have one. I just want to bring this up. We have one wrestler entering the MMA world. We have one MMA fighter training at the Monster Factory, Matthew Riddle.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to do better between the two. I guess time will tell.
Yeah.
So, do you want to hear WWE's very brief statement on Punk signing with UFC?
Yes, I sort of do. I really do, actually.
Yes, for those who missed it, and you might have blinked and probably did, WWE ran a brief statement on their website in response to CM Punk's signing to fight with UFC. It is, and I quote, WWE wishes Phil Brooks, a.k.a. CM Punk, the best of luck in his new endeavor.
Gee, I wonder who they got that from. Maybe Johnny Laryngitis.
Well, no, because that would be future endeavors.
Doesn't matter. They could have tweaked it.
That means that you've already gotten an endeavor after you were... I don't know. It just doesn't work, and neither does my Johnny Laurinaitis voice.
Mine's a lot better for some reason.
Must have been that water you were sipping earlier.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. I don't know. It's classified information.
Where the hell was I going with this?
It happens even on a pre-recorded episode, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying.
You're even pulling the ladies and gentlemen from CM Punk. He is your boy.
Do I have your attention now?
No. And apparently I'm emulating Grumpy Cat.
Oh, wow.
It figures. Yeah, you can't see the frown here in studio, but it's definitely there.
No, I think we can all imagine it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of frowning, this is the worst segue ever. Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey passed away at the age of 52. Longtime pro wrestler David Ferrier, who wrestled as Jimmy Del Rey, one half of the, I know this is a little before your time, but the Heavenly Bodies tag team, who wrestled in Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
I have heard of the Heavenly Bodies. I've never seen them wrestle, but I have heard of them.
Well, you could always pull up.
Because I get them and the Body Donnas confused.
I want to say is it the 95 Survivor Series that they're in? That you can pull up on the WWE Network. Don't mention the price.
Oh, I wasn't going to.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. But he passed away this past Saturday. He had celebrated his 52nd birthday less than a week earlier. Unfortunately, I believe it was in a car accident. Those are no fun. I don't know. I liked Jimmy Del Rey just because he proved that you could be agile without necessarily being ripped. Like, he had a little bit of a gut on him, which was part of the whole gigolo Jimmy Del Rey character, because he would kind of swivel his hips a la, like, Ravishing Rick Rude, but you could see that he had a bit of a gut on him.
But doesn't gigolo mean another thing, too?
Well, yeah, it meant that his belly jiggled. Isn't that what it... That's what I always thought it meant.
Don't you toy with me.
No, I'm serious. As a kid, that's what I thought when they said gigolo. Honest admission here, listeners.
Okay. Well, I would admit, yeah, but
Well, again, this was, 13, 14-year-old naive little Fearon.
No, I'm not doubting that you didn't think that then, but now don't you think they meant it in a different light?
Well, yeah, I saw the movie Deuce Bigelow.
Rob Schneider, very funny dude. Anyway,
That was part of... now I understand the heavenly bodies concept a little bit more. But back then, as a naive little 13, 14-year-old punk, I just rolled right along with it.
mm-hmm.
Oh, it must mean because his belly jiggles. Yeah, they keep thinking that's stupid.
That was a Norton moment right there. Just keep thinking that stupid Ramon.
Really?
Yes. I'm not going to actually do the whole bit.
He can be taught. Now, some people who apparently, well, they're getting taught in a different sense. Certain video game players of WWE 2K15.
Oh, God.
Yeah. 2K games are taking drastic steps against those who want to use a certain character in their WWE 2K15 games, if
Anyone that
you know what I mean.
Anybody that supports toothless aggression. I'm sorry, that was bad. Toothless, yeah. Sounded bad, very bad. Toothless aggression, anybody that supports
All
that.
I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. That's apparently where you're going with this here.
A little bit despicable.
Either that or you were temporarily brought into the Rhodes family, one or the other.
Okay, that was too good, I'm sorry.
Toothless aggression, if you will.
Prime time.
On the mothership, get into the pay window. Oh, gosh. We love you, Dusty. Anyway, if you create the Chris Benoit character in the WWE 2K15 game, 2K games, they're banning players.
That's if you post it online in the community creations.
I was getting to that.
Well, I know. I just wanted to clarify.
Yes, banning players who opt to create controversial wrestler Chris Benoit using the facial mapping system.
It's not like if you just create it and keep it to yourself, they're going to be like, hey, we went through your stuff. You're banned. No, you have to post it on the...
Yeah, anyone who's seen using the Benoit character online is apparently suspended from online play for 2 whole weeks.
Ooh. Plenty of other games that can play online for 2 whole weeks, unless they've gotten banned from those. In that case, that's on you, buddy.
There you go, 2K games. Swing that ban hammer. See, I know some video game jargon.
I'm not doubting that.
I know, I am. Evidently, 2K games is allowed to do that, though, based on the language in their user agreement. So there you go. No creating the Crippler or the Wolverine or... I don't know. What were some of the other nicknames of Benoit over the years?
The Toothless Aggression.
Wouldn't it be more the Toothless Aggressor?
Maybe. I just remember that.
You just remember Toothless Aggression.
Because I would have thought that would have had to do with be synonymous with Benoit. He was a part of
just
that
because he
era.
was missing a part of a tooth on the one side there.
Plus the fact that he was a part of that era.
He was a part of that era. That, for the most part, has been kind of magically wiped away from the record books.
Yeah.
Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Yeah. Dun,
Oh, no, wait,
dun, 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 dun.
Well, that works too. I was going more for the.
This is we are going to have a lot of editing to do, even if I haven't cursed that much. There's a lot of awkward silence. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Do you go back and listen to our other shows? There's a lot of awkward silences in our regular live shows
yes,
too.
Yes, I do go back, and but we can have the ability to change it this time. Just saying.
Yeah, but then again, it's not organic. It doesn't feel real, and it's still real to me. Damn it.
I think it's still real to a lot of us. Fearon, I really do. Damn it.
Of course. All right, I think we've got some other business to attend to. Our second time out here. When we come back, we'll talk about tribute to the troops. We still have the Slammies to talk about. A pay-per-view name change. That's right, a biggie. Also, JR's coming to Philly. By God! We'll see who's getting broken in half on the other side. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, December 13. On this date in 1989, the NWA held its Starrcade pay-per-view. In the main event, Sting pinned Ric Flair to win the Iron Man Round Robin Tournament. On this date in 1998, the WWF held its Rock Bottom pay-per-view. In the main event, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated The Undertaker in a Buried Alive match. On this date in 2009, WWE held its TLC pay-per-view. In the main event, Shawn Michaels and Triple H defeated Chris Jericho and The Big Show in a tag team TLC match to win the Unified Tag Team Championship. This has been Today in Wrestling History, December 13.
Hi, this is Jim Cornette, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry on 1490 WBCB.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas, the intern, DeSangro.
Hope you guys enjoyed the commercial break. Maybe got up, ate a sandwich, something like that.
I'm sure it was good times, and hopefully they came back in time for that awesome Today in Wrestling History segment.
Oh, yeah.
Those are always fun. I love doing those. It's always good to look back a little bit. I love being nostalgic. That's part of what the selling point of the WWE Network
Is that why you
was.
don't go to see any new movies?
What's a movie?
Okay, I'll talk to you about this later. But Fearon here,
Here we go.
I'm just going to say, Fearon here, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I love the movies he's shown me. Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein. We're planning on watching Clue. He hasn't seen a lot of the newer movies that I want him to watch, and I feel like that's because you're a bit nostalgic.
Well, no, it's just that I haven't watched a lot of movies.
This is the
period.
internvention here on VCB. Oh, come on, that was good.
Son of a...
Just
Yeah, I'm bringing that back. No, there are just a lot of movies that I haven't watched, and I could get into it, but that would take at least an hour and change. So what I'll get into instead is the Slammies.
Okay.
I guess we can talk a little bit about that. Good to see some returns. Johnny Laurinaitis, always a good thing.
People power.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, great to see him back. RVD making an appearance.
I did not see that.
Yeah, he introduced the Extreme Moment of the Year award.
No way. Was he wearing a suit?
I forget. I don't know.
So does
I'm not like
RVD.
Joan Rivers. I'm not. Yeah. Who are you wearing? Who are you wearing? No, I'm not.
So does RVD. RVD forgets too. Dude.
Whatever. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Dude, whatever. But yeah, since you missed that part of it, the Extreme Moment of the Year nominees were Brock Lesnar destroying Cena at SummerSlam, Kane
How is that
attacking.
extreme?
Well, it's as extreme as you get in this PG era of WWE. All those belly-to-back suplexes.
16 suplexes. Wow.
Kane attacking Daniel Bryan on Raw. Chris Jericho hitting Bray Wyatt with a cross-body block over the top of a cage, or off the top of a cage, I should say. And Rollins curb-stomping Dean Ambrose on cinder blocks.
I'd like to say either the cinder blocks or the cage won.
Well, the cage did win. Jericho won it, and Fandango accepted on his behalf.
Why Fandango?
Well, because Jericho's not coming back for it. He's got Fozzy things going on.
True.
Well, at least until next week, because your guest general manager for this coming week of Raw and SmackDown is none other than the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, Chris Jericho. So Raw is Jericho returns this Monday.
Oh, Raw will definitely be Jericho.
And the Superstar of the Year, that was the announcement of that was made by Booker T. The nominees: Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, and John Cena. And the fans apparently, and I use that in very inverted commas, Roman Reigns winning Superstar of the Year.
I have a feeling that this is not legitimate.
I wonder how many times Linda McMahon has said that to Vince McMahon.
Oh, there goes my invite to Titan Towers.
Oh, no, we can probably just keep that to ourselves, you know.
I don't know. I may leave it in there. That's actually kind of funny.
I would really, I don't know. I'm sort of prefer if you edited that, so that way I actually have a chance of going to WWE one
There
day.
goes your invite to Titan Towers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see here you made a comment, although it is
Back
true.
in 2014.
Although it may be true. I just want to put it out there.
By the time you
You're
get there, Vince,
fired. Yeah.
I don't know. The silence at the announcement of Roman Reigns winning Superstar of the Year, with the exception of a few screaming females, I don't know. That's worrisome. I mean, what has Roman Reigns done to be Superstar of the Year? He got attacked by Seth Rollins. I mean, he had the
Very
great
good
run
point.
with the Shield, but
Yeah.
I mean, Lesnar's been champ since SummerSlam.
True.
Daniel Bryan, of course, had that miraculous run in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Bray Wyatt was a very, very lightning hot superstar this year.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose has had a heck of a run, and I mean, John Cena is John Cena.
Yeah, but they always just throw him in as a nominee just for the heck of it.
So I don't know. I don't see. I'm just worried that Roman Reigns is going to be this generation's Rocky Maivia, at least in the early onset. I know you were too young to remember.
No, I know who Rocky Maivia is, but that could also turn him into the next Rock.
Does Roman Reigns have the charisma that The Rock does early on?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So the fact that he's kind of getting the equivalent, I mean, I don't know. Did I ever show you, or did you ever check out the Chia Pet haircutted blue chipper days of Rocky Maivia from
believe me,
the late
I've
90s, from late 96, early 97?
I have seen it.
Yeah, it's some kind of something. All right, let's get some news and notes before we get on out of here. And then, of course, we've got our predictions certain to go wrong. We'll save those for the end as well for the TLC pay-per-view. NBC and USA Network announcing that they're airing Tribute to the Troops. So music artist Florida Georgia Line, i.e. Heath Slater and Chris Jericho lookalikes. I don't know. I still can't get over that from when they were on the pay-per-view a couple months ago.
Danny Cage was like, Chris Jericho and Heath Slater let themselves go. Oh, wait, no, it's Florida Georgia Line. I was laughing my butt off. It was very funny.
But they're joining WWE Superstars and Divas for the 12th annual WWE Holiday Special Tribute to the Troops that's going to air this coming Wednesday, December 17th on the USA Network from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern as part of WWE Week on the USA Network.
Yeah, that's going to be I always enjoy Tribute to the Troops. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I can't rip them for, I mean, the military does a lot of awesome things, so there is that. Plus, I have a lot of friends who are or were in the military, so I definitely can't.
You can't knock
them.
And it is a great thing that they're doing. They're in Fort Benning this year, Fort Benning, Georgia.
They are. That's very good.
Thank you.
I wonder if they did that because it's near the Florida-Georgia line.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
That was horrible. I should edit that out.
No,
but
keep
I'm
it.
probably not
going
going
to. It's going to be more
to.
organic.
I see what you did there. The show will re-air as a 1-hour special on NBC on Saturday, December 27th from 8 until 9 p.m. That's right, only 1 hour of network for you, WWE. NBC Universal joins WWE in saluting our troops with special messages from a litany of notable names and a few even I've never heard of. Actually, quite a few I've never heard of. But
you hadn't heard of, in my case.
Well, yeah, there's a couple of those, too. Today anchors Matt Lauer and Al Roker. Seth Meyers, I think he's from SNL?
He is an
SNL alum? Or?
He was from SNL. He is now taking over Jimmy Fallon's late night position because Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, the late NBC comedy show, talk show tonight, after the Tonight Show thing. Okay.
I thought it was before, but I don't know.
No, usually you have the Tonight Show and then you have after that, because I mean, for years it was Late Night with Conan O'Brien before.
True.
Back when I was a wee lad. Where was I going with it? Oh, yeah, Deborah Messing, Tom Brokaw. They're going to pull him from out of retirement. Of course, Brokaw doing NBC Nightly News for all those years.
So
he's got a message for the troops as well.
So he was Brian Williams' predecessor?
Yes. Yeah, he was part of that triad that just dominated really the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. You had Brokaw on NBC, you had Peter Jennings on ABC, and you had Dan Rather on CBS.
Was Tom Brokaw what they modeled the news, the anchor from The Simpsons off of?
I don't know. Wait, Kent Brockman?
Yeah.
I don't know what the. I think it was just kind of a spoof of all of your national newscasters or something like that. We've gone way off on a tangent on this. Let me try to pull it back. This is probably the worst way to do so. The Kardashians, they're going to be part of the tribute to the troops.
Yeah.
Also, we'll just skip over that real quick. We'll go Carson Daly, also from The Voice, Gwen Stefani, Adam Levine, and Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
No happy jokes. I mean, well, you could make one, but I can't. I got nothing. Plus, that might require me to sing, and as we've learned in past holidays, that's never exactly a good thing.
Are you going to make a song? That's what I wanted to. Or is that
I don't
one of
know.
the download things?
I thought about it. I'm still thinking about it. We'll see how my holiday spirit gets moved in the next couple of weeks.
Maybe you could even get me involved on this one. I actually have some songwriting experience.
Oh, good for you. Oh, thank you, Christian Bale. I don't know. So that should be fun. Something else that, well, I don't know. I'm going to give out about in a moment. Bye-bye Chamber. That's right. The Elimination Chamber pay-per-view has disappeared from the February WWE pay-per-view schedule, being replaced with WWE Fastlane. Get it? Wow. The Fastlane on the road to WrestleMania? Yeah, that's what they're going with here. Tickets went on sale for Fastlane today, which will be held February 22nd in Memphis, Tennessee. Elimination Chamber is expected to move to a later date in the annual pay-per-view schedule. I want to know why. And yes, I have it here in my notes. It just says rant. I know.
Angelo Cataldi on it. Come on.
No, I can't go Angelo Cataldi on it. But what I will say, I'm not going to get into a lengthy rant, but these themed pay-per-views just tend to shoehorn you in, and you're kind of forced. Oh, holy smokes. What an interruption. We get Mike Samsel in the studio here. Mike Samsel, the BCB alum, just wreaking havoc wherever the hell he goes.
What's up?
Well, we're pre-recording Pro Wrestling Weekly because we aren't able to be in studio for when it would air live, thanks to some reschedulings and a Toys for Tots remote and things of that nature.
So curse Matt Miro. Well, I could say that now anyway, I suppose, but you can't.
Oh yeah, because he's the
he's no longer here. He's CM
exactly.
Punk.
So curse you, Matt Miro, for changing the show.
The thoughts and opinions are expressed solely by Mike Samsel and in no way reflect WBCB, its staff, management, advertisers.
I'm still staff, kinda.
Well, true. Otherwise, I wouldn't let you here on the show.
I'm the equivalent of JR with WWE right now.
Unwanted?
Pretty much, yeah, actually.
Are we gonna see Samsel the one-man show in January?
Oh, that's right. We've got to talk about that.
I'm accepting bookings now. Wait, JR's one-man show's coming to the Chalk?
Yeah, you didn't hear about this?
No.
Okay, well, let me talk about it. Can I get the story out for the listeners? Yes. I know it just sounds like just three friends goofing off on whatever the hell's going on about wrestling, and usually that's what it is. But, we want to inform the people as well, because it is all about the people. WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross announcing in his latest JR'sBarbecue.com blog, very fun blog, by the way, that he'll be holding a pair of Q&A events during Royal Rumble weekend. The shows will be held Friday, January 23rd in Sayreville, New Jersey at the Starland Ballroom, and a matinee show on Sunday, January 25th, the same day as the Royal Rumble, in Philadelphia at the Trocadero Theater. 3 o'clock is the start time for that Q&A in Philly, and tickets went on sale yesterday, through AXS.com.
I really want to go, but I'm going to be really single if I go to JR's one-man show and the Royal Rumble in one day.
Well, isn't the missus?
The Royal Rumble,
I was going to say, the missus is going to the Rumble with you,
yeah,
she?
And she's very in. She's very excited.
But you don't think she'll be in on By God, By God?
She's not quite there yet.
She's not quite there yet?
Yeah,
God's my witness. If you go, you'll be broken in half.
I have lost all control of this show.
That generally happens when I walk in.
This is your holiday cameo.
Exactly. We're sneaking up on WrestleMania.
The seasonal wrestling fan, Mike Samsel.
Yeah, that's right.
It is getting into that fraudulent time that I start to care about wrestling again.
We use that as a clip. This is true. We used that as a clip for our return at one point. That was such a money quote. We just had to use it.
As soon as TLC's over, I'm back in.
So after tomorrow.
Pretty much, yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, with that, bye, everyone.
Mike Samsel, you don't want to stick around for the last 5 minutes of the show or so?
I wish I could, but
you're just popping in and popping out. No giggity.
Radio, the hockey game that happened on Thursday night, I might have to call in the past, so I got to get ready for that game that already happened and then go.
Ah, yes, I see where you're going with this. Very good.
Bye, everybody.
Mike Samsel making a great cameo appearance here.
Oh my gosh.
You never know. Anything can happen on Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Yeah.
Hopefully even us providing an entertaining show. So I mentioned Jim Ross. I was talking about the Elimination Chamber before he walked in, and his phone gave the anonymous Raw General Manager sound.
Yeah.
There was that.
And then Samsel walked in, so we know the anonymous. Hopefully, it's Samsel.
I don't know. At least he didn't go with the have your attention, please. I don't know. I was basically going to just talk about how Elimination Chamber shoehorns you into having to put 6 competitors in a match. And you know that Brock Lesnar, while he has the title, he's not defending it in an Elimination Chamber match.
So does Money in the Bank, doesn't it?
Yeah, have you seen Brock Lesnar in a Money in the Bank match?
No, I'm just saying, like, if they move it later in the date, that could still make sense, like the match.
You might see one leading into the other. Maybe, but give me 6 viable WWE Championship contenders right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
John Cena.
Okay.
Randy Orton.
He's filming a movie right now, but okay.
Well, hypothetically, like when the time comes around. Rollins.
Yeah, he's the Money in the Bank contract holder currently.
Reigns, if he's not injured.
Reigns when he comes back.
They're moving it down the line, so I'm just saying, like...
so you're looking at, let's say, summer 2015.
And hopefully, whoever the champion... Like, maybe Daniel Bryan, like, I have 6, I can name 6, it just depends on who the champion would be.
Okay, well, that's why I was looking more at a right now, because right now, it's looking very lean.
I'm not saying right now,
which is
that would,
probably part of why they're moving it along.
You're making a good point, but moving it along is probably a better move.
I'm just saying they should not have it all together and save the Elimination Chamber matches for special occasions as opposed to, oh, we're coming up on February, we got to make an Elimination Chamber match happen. Oh, we're coming up on October, we got to make a Hell in a Cell match happen. Oh, it's December, it's TLC time. Those matches, I think, mean more if they're not necessarily an annual special, but if there's something that is built up to via
to be honest,
your storylines.
To be honest, I do like Money in the Bank, but I liked it a lot better when it was just at WrestleMania, because that was their WrestleMania moment, sort of.
It was a tradition type thing.
Yeah, like you always wait for the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania, because that's when it was supposed to be.
Indeed. All right, we've got a couple minutes here before we make our way out of here and turn things over to Nick Cataldi.
Yay!
So a couple more bits of news and notes and our predictions certain to go wrong for the TLC pay-per-view tomorrow. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H named editorial advisors to fitness magazines. That's right, following the release of their fitness DVDs, which are currently on back order on WWEshop.com.
Back order meaning?
They have to wait for more to get in so they can ship them out to people. They've sold out.
Wow, that's different.
Well, you got to figure the holidays, a lot of people, New Year's resolutions, wanting to get fit. I could see it.
I wonder how much water they're going to be using with Triple H's fitness video.
You've been just chomping at the bit to use that, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
No, you just thought of that right at the spur of the moment?
Yeah.
Good job by you, sir.
I'm off the cuff. I shoot from the hip like the Bullet Club.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Following the release of their fitness DVDs, WWE and American Media Incorporated announced on Monday that Stephanie McMahon has been appointed editorial advisor to Shape magazine, which I can't say I've ever read. Well, I think it's more geared toward women.
I still haven't heard of it. I've heard of Men's Health, Women's Health, Muscle and Fitness. Those are like the top 3. I haven't heard of.
Well, one of those 3 that you mentioned is where Triple H is involved in. He's been appointed editorial advisor to Muscle and Fitness magazine.
Oh, nice.
In their roles, they'll consult with the editorial staff of both magazines on print and online content pertaining to health and fitness, and both Trips and Steph are on the cover of the December-January issue of Muscle and Fitness. I wonder if they're also well, no, I guess advertising's a different section because it seems like 70% of that magazine is advertisements for supplements.
See, what you want to do is you want to take those special supplements and hide them in your boxers when you put them in the gym bag, and then you. I'm sorry, this is going too far.
You know what? I don't even want to know where you're going with this.
You know, like
Nope, I don't want to know. I don't think the listeners do either. I'm sure they're going to make plenty of inferences, which will show up on the Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page sometime after the show. All right, Impact, debut date coming up. That's right, TNA announcing that the Impact Wrestling TV show will debut on Destination America with a live, that's right, we'll do it live, show on Wednesday, January 7th, and will then move to Fridays starting January 16th. It'll air weekly from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern on the Destination America Network.
It's just funny because they're trying not to coincide with WWE, and they're barely making it out alive with that.
Barely. All right, we've got like 2 minutes, if that. So TLC lineup predictions certain to go wrong. 9 matches on the card, 8 of which are actually on the pay-per-view. One's a pre-show. We'll get that right out the bat. The New Day, no time to rant about that, against Goldust and Stardust. I'm going with Gold Star here.
I said the New Day.
You think it's a new day for the New Day?
Yes.
Nikki Bella defending the Divas title against AJ Lee.
Nikki Bella.
I'm thinking that too, and that'll lead conspirators to think, oh, AJ's in the doghouse because of CM Punk. Yeah, it's probably that. Well, who knows if that's the case. Rusev crushing with U.S. title, defending against Jack Swagger.
Rusev crush.
I say he crushes well, or crushes as well, or something like that. While we're on titles, Luke Harper defending the Intercontinental title against Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match.
Zigglypoof wins.
You're going Zigglypuff. I say Harper retains. How about that?
I feel like the only reason that Luke Harper had the title was to sort of put some sort of more emotion into the Authority versus Team Cena storyline.
No, that's very sound logic. I think Ziggler's just going to bump like a boss, and Harper's going to end up taking it.
I really want to see Harper versus Rowan.
And not like their throwaway.
Oh, not their throwaway matches this past Monday on Raw?
Like an actual rivalry.
Yeah, it's a shame. They just kind of gave that away. 2 minutes, whatever. All right, back to the pay-per-view. Speaking of Eric Rowan, he's facing the Big Show in a steel stairs match. Because this year it's tables, ladders, chairs, ... and stairs.
Jinx.
Seriously?
Yeah. I'm actually going to go Eric Rowan.
And I agree with that. All right, we got the tag titles on the line. Miz and Mizdow, or Damian Mizdow, defending against the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, for the Tag Team Championship.
Usos. I'm going to go Usos because then I really want the Miz-Sandow rivalry to start. I want there to be dissension. I want it to happen.
I don't think that dissension happens yet, so you say ooh, I say no.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Yes, Miz and Mizdow, I think, are retaining the tag titles. And then Ryback against Kane in a chairs match.
Ryback.
I'm going with Kane on this one, and I really have no idea why.
Just feed me more of this garbage so we can get it over with.
Yeah, I have a hunch I'm going to be wrong on that, but that's why I call them predictions certain to go wrong. John Cena against Seth Rollins in a tables match, and if Cena loses, he's no longer number one contender to the WWE World Minnesota Heavyweight Championship.
Lol, Cena wins.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Whenever the title is even mentioned within the storyline, we all know Cena's going to win.
And that'll probably set up Cena versus Lesnar for the Rumble.
Which I would actually be excited to see.
And you're going to see.
Yeah.
And finally, TLC match. The first match that we had set up for this thing, Dean Ambrose against Bray Wyatt.
The one thing I want to know is how is this TLC, what are they going to be grabbing? Or is it going to be like a pin TLC match?
It's probably going to be that it leads to a pinfall.
Which really doesn't work, but I don't know.
Don't ask me. Ask the WWE writers. I don't write this stuff.
Because usually TLC matches, I mean, there have been TLCs with pinfalls, but really how are they going to do this with there's no title or no, like, you know. Anyway, I'm going to go Dean Ambrose. Actually, no. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, because the whole thing with Sister Abigail's chair, the remnants of that storyline would actually be good for Wyatt to win.
True, Wyatt has had a start and stop push, and Dean Ambrose is white hot right now, so WWE logic would say that Wyatt wins. I'm going to go with actual logic and say that Ambrose wins and that you ride the hot hand.
I'm just saying, if they do the right thing, which they probably won't, but if they do, you could have an actual emotionally tearing storyline that people can get attached to.
Yeah, but we need more LOL moments.
No, we don't.
That's what the company's built on. I'm not out of touch. All right, I'm not going to get into a Vince McMahon rant.
He said as they were putting him in a straitjacket.
A straitjacket match. That sounds like a hell of an idea.
Oh no, what have I done?
You've caused more trouble than you're worth. And I have as well. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to turn things over to Nick Cataldi.
Hey!
He's got country music coming your way. Before we head on out of here, a couple of quick notes in post-production. If you missed the NXT special on the WWE Network this past Thursday night, you definitely want to check that out. And next week, we'll be back at our normal time, 12 noon to 1 o'clock, with a very, very special guest, the WWE Hall of Famer, Jim Ross, good old JR, joining us on the program, and it's sure to be a slobber knocker here on 1490